Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I might as well do this in video form because in my stream, obviously I didn't get my point across as I should have. But in this video, I want to tell you why Luffy's power of the Power Gear 5 is one of the strongest abilities in Shonen Jump and might potentially make Luffy the most powerful of the big three. Now, if you don't know what I mean by this video is going to break down why Luffy has Toon Force and the potential of what Toon Force can do. Now, with that being said, let's begin. Now, according to basically, Crunchyroll had released basically the video, basically the whole thing for Luffy versus Kaido recently, and it says that Luffy has blown away Kaido with Toon Force. Yes, blown away with Toon Force. I'm gonna put it up for you so y'all can see, but basically, yes, Luffy does indeed have Toon Force. Now, what does this mean for Luffy here? Well, now that he's officially, it's been stated that he has Toon Force. I mean, obviously, throughout the entire fight, he actually does show like glimpses of him showing he has Toon Force. Him running on air, for instance. Kaido blowing him away with fire attacks, and he just brushes off like nothing. The fact that he can grab his own face while running and put it back on his face, that is another thing. And for Kaido to say it's something out of a comic strip even indicates that yes, this is much more like fictional stuff for Luffy. And even then, if we go over to the Road to Laugh Tale, when in the raw skin, says that basically mythical zone users are basically able to transform into fictional creatures that does not exist, which is the case for even Luffy here. He's basically a fictional character, and since he embodies that in fictional character, which is Nika, he could pretty much do whatever he wants, allegedly anyway. Now, the following abilities for Luffy is he can basically transmutate anything into rubber, including lightning itself. He can basically controls his own size to as big as he wants, because he has the power of a giant. And basically he has other fictional like abilities he can do, which is basically on, you know, imagination based, as it states that his peak of his power is to turn imagination into reality. So he can pretty much do anything he can imagine, which gives a lot of potential for Luffy's fruit here. Now, when Luffy has the power of, you can say the power of Toon Force, he can basically do anything with cartoon physics. Like when like another thing, when he attacks Kaido, sound effects are heard. This is even stated in Road to Laugh Tale that sound effects are heard every time he attacks, and stars are created. And basically, we see this countless times that Luffy, with his rubberness, obviously, he can just fight in a comedic fashion. Like the narrator for like each preview even says that yes, he can fight in a comedic effect. So yeah, it's more like it's basically what Toon Force basically is. He can fight in a comedic effect, and as long as it's funny for him, he can do a lot of things, such as, well, he has toon elasticity, which means, well, if y'all don't know what toon elasticity is, it's basically have like toon-like elasticity, or like rubber hose like animation, stuff like that. And basically it has the elastic properties akin that of cartoon characters, right? So he can pretty much do anything. Like he could just flex. He could be as flat as he have a flat body when he gets squished. He could basically he could just stretch as much as he needs to, which in his Vivi card he could stretch infinitely if you really want to go there. But basically it gives him like a level of elasticity that's so ridiculous it becomes cartoon like, right? And even then he also has Toon Recovery. Now Toon Recovery is basically like just like Tom and Jerry, right? But no matter how much they're smashed, cut, burned, or blown up, they can always recover. And we know for zone users, they have insane recovery speeds and insane endurance. But for Luffy here, he does have the same thing, but in a cartoonic fashion. So no, it gives him like some form of regenerative healing factor and pain suppression as well. But he could just recover like a Toon character basically. And just like it's prime example, he getting burnt by Kaido. Kaido just used his Bolo breath and blast giant Luffy away off the island, and he just like shook it off like black coral, right? Kaido did the same thing when he got blasted by his Bolo breath. He just shook it off like, that's all comedic fashion. So basically, yes, he can use abilities in the Gear 5 that's rooted in cartoon physics. Yes, these are basically cartoon physics. It's like, yes, he's shown rubberness, like rubber awakening, like a paramecia, but he could do so much more. It's definitely he could do so much more. And I can see a lot of people like to say that it's not Toon Force, which I can understand their argument of why it's not, but there's too many evidence to say that Luffy does have cartoon physics. He does. And for the instance, for like Oda even saying that Tom and Jerry are the models of Gear 5. They are basically the reason why Gear 5 is made in the first place. He says that this form is a joke. It's a joke form. And even then, Gear 5 allows Oda to do more things freely because he doesn't want to make it a serious manga at the end of the day. And he said that manga has lost the expressions, the over exaggerated expressions has been lost into basically Shonen Jump because they are taking things way too serious. So this form is the quite opposite of being edgy and serious. It's comedic and fun. And this is the way to express that. Toon Force, gag shit. It's straight up gag shit, people. It's straight up gag shit. Luffy's physiology is very, very questionable. He has the actual freedom. Now look. Go to just what Luffy power is. It's been stated he has unparalleled freedom to defy common sense. To defy logic. He is unbound by the laws of physics and rules of the world. He can do whatever the hell he wants to. As Luffy said himself, he could do anything he wants to do, anything he can do. This is the most ridiculous power in the world because he could do such much stuff. This will gain the power of freedom and fight like an actual cartoon character, as like I said, Kaido has stated, it's like from a comic strip. He can do pretty much what he wants to. But since Luffy is so limited, and he doesn't know the true nature of this fruit, the true nature of what he can do, he doesn't really show what he can't really do here. He can't. But it is only limited to his imagination. Now, of course, like we see more glimpses like Luffy able to create goggles from his like hair, or it probably manifested. Who knows? But Luffy can do anything he wants to if he put his mind to it. But until then, we can only talk about the potential of what this means. But if y'all don't know what basically cartoon physics are, or Toon Force, it literally inherits to the laws of physics in a cartoon. The laws of physics does not apply to you. It doesn't mean anything to you. You're like, basically, you impose the laws of physics in cartoons into reality. You can basically work the world around you however they see fit in a comedic fashion. Basically, it is like a Joliker system of laws of physics and biology that supersedes the normal laws and uses animation for humorous effect. And they can rewrite the strict laws of physics in their universe to their convenience and allow to override the laws that's more latent and more absurd physics and much more ridiculous ones in service of hilarity. So they could just pretty much do whatever they want because this is a cartoon. Cartoons, basically, this is a good, since you know, it has them giving them fictional mimicry, right? He basically, Luffy has some form of cartoon mimicry because he could just do wherever Nika can. We don't know what Nika is yet, but we know it's from stories. So it definitely is some fictional character that Luffy can do. So basically, the Toon Force is definitely the most powerful ability in Shonen Jump. As we receive much things from Aurelie, been stated that she even defies logic, right, and defies common sense. And we have Bobo with his gags as being completely absurd to make him one of the most powerful characters in Shonen Jump. If you have the power of Toon Force, you're literally one of the most powerful characters, well, in fiction. Honestly, you can even say that. You can say that. It depends who are using the Toon Force and how powerful it is, or you know what the capabilities can do. But for Luffy, the potential is endless. It really is. If Oda's really going to that route and not taking fights seriously, Luffy is about to do some ridiculous feats, and he going to be likely one of the most powerful characters of the big three, even more powerful than Goku. And this is why people that pretty much Gear 5 is the most powerful ability in Shonen Jump. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys think about this. And have you guys have a lovely day. Peace.